Do not scroll because you were meant to hear this, and heaven has been calling your name. You are not here by accident because something unseen has been moving around you. And now I, the one who watches over you, have come to speak. Listen gently and let every word settle into the deepest place inside you. Because this message is about someone you love. Someone has been hurting and someone has been waiting for hope to return. And their story is tied to what you're about to hear. A stranger visited your family member at the hospital and heaven witnessed it. And now it is time for you to know why. You have been walking with a heavy heart and feeling the pressure of uncertainty. And I have watched you try to stay strong even when you felt lost. You asked if I hear you, and I have heard every whisper. You wondered if I see you, and I have counted every tear. You felt alone in the nights when fear rose inside you. But heaven surrounded you in ways you could not yet see. There was a moment recently, quiet and unseen by human eyes. And in that hospital room, something holy unfolded. Your family member was not alone because a stranger entered. And this stranger was not a stranger to heaven. They carried a presence they themselves did not fully understand. And they were sent because your prayers reached me. You have been feeling something shifting spiritually. And that was the first sign the angels were moving. Heaven has been preparing you for a new chapter. And you are hearing this now because the old one is ending. What happened in that hospital room is connected to the breakthrough you've been begging for. And the shift you sensed was not your imagination. Your family member was visited by someone carrying a message. And this message touched their soul even if they cannot explain it. It was not just a human visitor. It was a divine interruption. And it was sent to protect, to comfort, and to speak life into a fragile moment. You wondered why the situation suddenly shifted, and why the doctors changed their tone so unexpectedly. It is because heaven intervened when you thought time was running out, and I stepped into the room through the one you call a stranger. You were praying while trembling inside, and I answered in a way you did not see coming. The angels have been speaking your name softly, and they have been guarding the places you never knew were vulnerable. You thought this season was breaking you, but it was shaping you quietly and deeply. You thought the battle was punishment, but it was positioning your life for what is coming. You thought the delay was denial, but it was divine timing unfolding perfectly. Healing does not always begin in the body. Sometimes it begins with a whisper from heaven, and sometimes it enters through a stranger who carries my presence without knowing. This is how miracles often arrive, quiet, gentle, disguised as ordinary moments. Your family member was touched by heaven that day, and their spirit recognized me before their mind could. Fear loosened its grip as light entered the room, and the darkness that tried to surround them stepped back. The battle shifted in ways you could not see, and life began to move where death tried to linger. The situation could have gone another way, but it didn't because I said, "Not this one. I am protecting this one," I declared, "and I am not finished with this family." You have felt the spiritual pressure building, and that pressure was the sign that a breakthrough was near. The stranger who visited carried my reassurance, and their presence became the doorway for healing to begin. Heaven is watching your life unfold with purpose, and you are being guided toward something greater than the pain you've endured. You have been prepared in ways you did not understand, and you are stepping into a season of restoration that your heart needs. I am lifting the weight from your spirit, and I am clearing the storm that has clouded your mind. You are not alone, and you have never been abandoned, and your family is covered, protected, and surrounded by light. What comes next will be better than what was lost, and what rises now will be stronger than what fell. Rest your heart because heaven is holding you, and breathe because the miracle you've waited for is already unfolding. Stay close to this peace, and let these words settle in you. And when you are ready, come to the next message I have prepared, for I am not finished speaking to you, and your story is far from over. You are still here because your purpose is still breathing, and heaven has not allowed the enemy to write your ending. You have survived storms that would have shattered others, and you have risen from moments meant to break you forever. You think your endurance is ordinary, but it is the mark of someone chosen long before they understood why. There's a calling on your life that you have not yet fully recognized, and the battles you fought were not to destroy you, but to awaken you. That hospital visitation was not just for your family member. It was also a sign for you, a sign that heaven moves even when you feel powerless, and a sign that I am closer to your story than you realize. You have prayed for protection over the people you love, and that protection has been surrounding them even in rooms you never entered. You have prayed for healing to touch someone you care deeply about, and that healing began the moment my presence filled that hospital space. The stranger who walked in carried more than comfort. They carried divine assignments written before they were born. Some angels walk with wings unseen, and some appear as humans with gentle voices and steady hands. You do not have to know who they were. You only need to know who sent them. Your family member felt a peace settle over them, and that peace was me speaking directly to their spirit. Fear tried to cling to their heart, but my presence broke through the weight of despair. You have been fearing the worst quietly, and yet the worst never came because heaven intervened. You have been imagining painful outcomes in your mind, but those outcomes were never written into your destiny. The enemy wanted you afraid, but I wanted you aware that you are not abandoned, and aware that heaven is watching every breath of your story. There is a shift coming to your household, and it begins with restoration. Restoration of health and restoration of peace. Restoration of hope and restoration of strength. The chaos you have been living through is coming to an end, and the heaviness on your spirit is beginning to break. You have cried silently while pretending to be strong, and I have gathered every tear you hid from the world. You have felt like no one understands the pressure on your heart, but heaven has understood it entirely. You thought you were surviving on your own, but you were being carried in the moments when you wanted to collapse. Your prayers have been rising like incense, and they have been heard faster than you imagined. Breakthrough does not always come with noise. Sometimes it comes quietly, like breath returning to lungs. Sometimes it comes through a stranger's words. Sometimes through a doctor's unexpected change of tone. Sometimes it comes through a moment you never witnessed, like the one in that hospital room. You were not there to see the miracle forming, but you are here now to receive the outcome of that miracle. Do not fear the unknown anymore, because the unknown is where I do my greatest work. Do not fear losing what you love, because what I protect cannot be taken by darkness. Your family is under divine covering, and nothing formed against them will prosper. You will soon hear good news that will calm your spirit, and it will come exactly when you need it most. The next chapter of your life is being written even now, and it is filled with peace that your heart has longed for. You are walking into a season where things make sense again, and where the burdens you carried will finally lift. Let the fear fall from you, and let my presence fill you with the strength you forgot you had. You are safe in my hands, and your loved ones are safe in my light. You will rest better soon, and you will breathe without fear again. Stay close to these words and allow them to settle inside you. And when your spirit is ready, come listen to the next message I have prepared for you. For I am still speaking, and your journey is still unfolding in grace. You are stepping into a moment where everything begins to make sense, and the confusion that has clouded your heart will finally loosen its grip. You have carried questions that felt too heavy to speak aloud, and I have held the answers quietly until your spirit was ready to receive them. You felt like life pushed you into a corner, and all the while I was preparing a doorway you had not yet seen. Nothing you lost will remain missing in the way you fear, and nothing taken from you will stay broken in my presence. The battle you fought was real and exhausting, but the victory forming around you is even more real. You have been asking for signs to show you that I am near, and the visitation in that hospital room was one of those signs. You did not know it, but your prayers were traveling ahead of you, and they created protection around someone you love when danger tried to enter. Sometimes my miracles arrive disguised as ordinary people, and sometimes my messengers walk into moments you cannot reach. The stranger who came carried peace in their voice, and that peace reached into the deepest part of your loved one's spirit. There are things your family member felt that they may never fully explain, and those feelings were the touch of heaven settling over them. You feared losing them because you care so deeply, but I placed my hand between them and the darkness that tried to claim them. Life is not done unfolding for them, and life is not done unfolding for you either. You both have chapters that must still be lived, and blessings that must still be delivered. The enemy tried to intimidate you through sickness and fear, but fear has no authority where my presence stands. Your heart has been whispering, "Lord, please don't let anything happen." And I have been whispering back, "I am here, and nothing will." You have imagined painful futures, but those futures were never written into your story. Your destiny is protected by hands stronger than your fears, and your loved ones are covered by light stronger than any shadow. I know how tired you are, and I know how much you've been holding in. You have felt responsible for keeping everyone together, and you have been silently carrying the weight of hope for your entire family. Now hear this. You are not carrying this alone anymore. Heaven has stepped into the story with you, and angels have surrounded the places where you felt most vulnerable. There will be a shift in your environment, and you will feel peace begin to return like breath after drowning. I am touching the parts of you that have been trembling, and I am strengthening what has felt weak inside you. The heaviness you've been feeling is not your future. It is the final pressure before release. Your spirit is entering a new clarity, and your heart is entering a new calm. The anxiety that has been gripping your chest will loosen soon, and the fear that has followed you for months will begin to dissolve, because you are not entering this next season broken. You are entering it protected. You will begin to see small confirmations, and those confirmations will remind you that I am guiding every step. A message will reach you at the right moment, and it will bring the relief your spirit has been craving. Doors that felt stuck will begin to open effortlessly, and situations that felt impossible will start shifting in your favor. You will witness the restoration you prayed for, and your loved one will experience healing deeper than you expected. You are moving into a divine alignment, and everything that felt scattered will begin to come together. Do not be afraid of what comes next, because what comes next is covered in my light. Your story is turning, and this turn is blessed. Rest now in these words, and when your heart is ready, come receive the next message I have prepared for you. For I am still speaking to you, and I will not stop walking with you. You have been standing in a season that felt unfamiliar, and the uncertainty around you tried to drain your strength. But I have been watching over every step you took, and I have been guarding every breath you feared might be the last. You thought you were walking through this alone, but every moment you trembled. I was holding you steady. There were nights when you questioned everything, and I understood every question you whispered into the darkness. You asked me if things were going to get better, and my answer has always been yes. Even when the path felt heavy, your loved one came close to a moment that frightened you, and that moment could have taken them. But it did not, because heaven stood between them and the danger that was approaching, and the stranger who walked into their hospital room was part of that protection. You don't know their name, but their presence was not random, and their timing was not coincidence, but divine orchestration. They brought comfort you did not expect, and they carried a calm your spirit has been craving. Your family member felt a shift inside them, and that shift was my hand reaching into their situation. You wondered how things turned so quickly, and it is because my intervention does not always come with thunder. Sometimes it comes softly like a stranger's voice, and sometimes it comes quietly like peace settling in a fragile heart. What you feared was the end was not the end at all. because I am rewriting the story you thought was closing. You are entering a season where you will witness unexpected relief, and the heavy atmosphere around you will begin to lighten. The weight on your chest that has been constant will slowly ease, and the thoughts that spiraled in fear will start to quiet. I am stabilizing what has felt unstable, and restoring what has been shaken by stress and uncertainty. Your family is under watchful protection, and no harm will override my will for their lives. The sickness that threatened will not define your future, and the fear that whispered lies will lose its authority. I am bringing clarity into places you felt confused, and I am bringing hope into places you thought were empty. You will soon hear words that give you relief, and those words will remind you that I never abandoned you. You will feel me near in the small moments, and you will notice signs that confirm you are on the right path. Every closed door was protection, and every delay was preparation. You were being guided away from what would have harmed you, and guided toward what will heal you. The miracle you prayed for is not far from you now, and the breakthrough you have been yearning for is already unfolding. The atmosphere around your life is shifting, and blessings are beginning to take shape in the unseen. Do not fear the silence when you cannot feel me, because even in the silence, I am working. Do not fear the unknown when things change suddenly, because sudden change often means sudden blessings. You are stepping into a chapter where peace returns to your home, and joy begins to rise again in your spirit. I am lifting you out of the emotional exhaustion you've been carrying, and I am guiding your heart into a place of rest and renewal. You will see the people you love smile again, and you will smile again too, without forcing it this time. Stay close to this moment because it is sacred, and let these words soak into your heart like sunlight returning after storm. More is coming for you, and it is good. You have been afraid that everything could fall apart again, and I am here to remind you that what I restore cannot be shaken. You have lived through seasons where stability felt like a distant memory, and yet you remained standing even when your spirit felt tired of standing. You have faced moments that broke your voice with silent prayers, and I heard every unspoken word you tried to hide behind your strength. The heaviness you carried did not go unnoticed, and every sleepless night became a doorway for heaven to draw closer to you. You think you've been holding everything together by yourself, but I have been supporting you from angles you never realized were divine. There were dangers you never saw, and I blocked them before they ever reached your path. There were spiritual battles happening around your loved ones, and my angels stood guard while you rested, unaware of the war being won for you. The stranger who visited the hospital room was not just an act of kindness. It was a sign that I move through people when my children need comfort. Your family member felt a presence that went beyond the physical, and that presence was my reassurance that their story is not finished. You feared the worst because your heart loves deeply, and I protected the one you love because my love goes deeper still. You prayed with trembling hands, hoping your words reached heaven, and they did, faster than you realized. Carried by the tears you tried to hide, your faith has been bruised but not broken, and your hope has been shaken but not lost. I am rebuilding your strength piece by piece, and I am softening the parts of your heart that fear has been hardening. The enemy tried to overwhelm you with confusion, but clarity is coming like a sunrise after a long, dark night. You will find your steps guided more clearly in the coming days, and you will sense direction in places that once felt like dead ends. I am aligning the right people to enter your life, and I am removing the ones who cannot go where you are going next. You will notice conversations that bring healing, and you will notice doors opening that match exactly what you prayed for. Your tears are becoming seeds for a harvest of joy, and your pain is becoming the soil where new blessings will grow. You do not have to pretend you are strong anymore, because I am becoming the strength you have been missing. You will rest more deeply soon, and the internal chaos will begin to quiet in ways you haven't felt in a long time. I am touching the memories that still ache inside you, and I am healing wounds that time alone could not reach. Your mind will feel lighter as my peace settles in, and your heart will feel safer as my presence surrounds you. The fear of losing your loved one will trade itself for gratitude, and the uncertainty that haunted you will turn into testimony. You are walking into a chapter where miracles feel natural, and where blessings arrive without the struggle you once expected. Stay patient with yourself, and stay open to me, because I am not done. You will feel my guidance in the smallest decisions, and you will sense my comfort even on the days where you feel quiet inside. I am sending strength to your body and clarity to your mind, and I am sending protection around the people you hold closest to your heart. You will rise from this season with a deeper peace than you have ever known, and you will look back one day and realize you were being carried all along. Your story is shifting, and the shift is holy. Come back when your spirit needs more, because I will continue speaking until your heart is healed and your hope is whole. You have been waiting for a sign that things are truly shifting, and this message is one of those signs sent straight to your spirit. You have walked through a long season of uncertainty, and every day of it has been seen, counted, and held by heaven. You wondered if you were strong enough to make it through, and I have been whispering, you already are, because I am with you. The fear you carried for your loved one has been heavy, and that heaviness began lifting the moment the stranger entered their room. You didn't see the moment their spirit felt safe again, but heaven saw it, and heaven responded instantly. Your prayers wrapped around their life like a shield, and my protection covered them in ways that went beyond what the eyes could see. You have been replaying the worst possibilities in your mind, and I have been gently rewriting your future behind the scenes. The story that scared you is not the story that will unfold, and the fear that tried to take root will not stay in your heart. You are entering a season of answered prayers, and the first answer began with that mysterious visitation. There are things your heart senses even before your mind understands, and one of those things is the certainty that I am working on your behalf. You will soon feel a peace that doesn't make sense to others, but it will make perfect sense to your soul. I am removing the weight of dread that followed you, and I am replacing it with hope that grows stronger each day. Your loved one will experience recovery in ways that surprise you, and you will witness progress that you didn't know was possible. You have asked me to protect them, and I have done more than protect. I have surrounded them with purpose. Their life still carries assignments that must be fulfilled, and your life still carries blessings that must be received. Do not fear the future anymore, because I have already walked ahead of you and cleared the path. The obstacles that intimidated you will begin to crumble, and the doors that seemed sealed shut will start opening with ease. You will receive clarity in moments where confusion once overwhelmed you, and your decisions will become lighter because my guidance will be louder. I am touching your home with peace, and I am touching your family with renewal. The tension that filled the atmosphere will begin to fade, and calmness will enter your space like a gentle morning wind. You will wake up one day soon and feel different, and you will recognize that something deep within you has shifted. The fear that once controlled your thoughts will no longer feel powerful, and the sadness that lingered will begin to dissolve quietly. I am restoring joy where sorrow settled, and I am rebuilding trust where fear created cracks. You will not lose what I have blessed, and you will not be harmed by what once scared you. My angels remain where you cannot see them, and they are working around your family with precision and love. You have cried so many nights in silence, and every tear has watered the ground for the miracle that is coming. You have carried burdens you never spoke about, and those burdens are being lifted one by one, gently and completely. Allow yourself to breathe again, and allow yourself to believe again. Your story is unfolding exactly as it should, and nothing is happening too late or too early. This is divine timing, and you are walking inside a moment heaven prepared for you. Stay close to these words as they settle into your heart, and return to me whenever your spirit needs reassurance. You have walked through moments that felt too heavy to carry, and yet you carried them with a strength you didn't know you had. You kept going even when everything inside you wanted to give up. And that endurance is the reason you are stepping into breakthrough now. You have been afraid of what tomorrow might bring. But I have already placed safety and favor inside your tomorrow. Nothing you face will be bigger than my presence around you. And nothing formed against you will stand in the days to come. The fear that clings to your mind is losing its grip, and the weight that sat on your chest is beginning to lift. I have seen the quiet ways you tried to be brave, and I have seen the moments where you felt your strength fading. You were never weak for feeling overwhelmed. You were human, and I honored every tear you shed. Your heart fought battles your voice never spoke about, and heaven listened to cries you didn't know reached me. The stranger who entered that hospital room carried more than comfort. They carried a divine assignment written long before your pain began. Your loved one felt a warmth settle over them that wasn't from this world, and that warmth was me, touching them through a human vessel. You thought the situation was slipping out of control, but it was being held in the safest hands possible, mine. You feared a sudden loss, but I placed a wall of protection around your family stronger than any enemy. The darkness tried to enter through fear and uncertainty, but my light entered faster, brighter, and deeper. Your spirit will begin to sense a shift in the atmosphere around you, and that shift is the announcement that the storm is ending. The tension you've carried for so long will not continue, and the dread you've woken up with will not follow you into the next season. You will begin to feel lighter without trying, and peace will return to your mind like a forgotten memory returning home. The confusion you battled will fade, and clarity will rise inside you like a dawn after too many nights. You will hear my whispers more clearly, and you will recognize my presence more quickly. Your heart has been exhausted, but exhaustion is not your future. I am pouring strength back into you that will refresh your soul. You will feel emotionally steady again, and you will feel spiritually grounded again. I am healing the parts of you you've kept hidden, and I am restoring the parts of you that were stretched too thin. Your family will see improvement that feels miraculous, and you will feel gratitude that brings tears of relief instead of tears of fear. The medical situation that terrified you will shift into testimony, and the healing you prayed for will be seen and felt in ways you didn't expect. You are stepping into a chapter where you will breathe easier, and the constant worry you lived with will begin to lose its voice. I am replacing fear with confidence, and sorrow with comfort. I am guiding your steps with precision, and aligning blessings that couldn't arrive until now. Nothing is being delayed anymore, and nothing is being withheld from you. You will see signs that confirm my nearness, and you will feel peace that confirms my promise. You are safe, and the ones you love are safe. You can rest your heart now, because I have surrounded your future with divine protection. Remain close to my voice. Remain soft in your spirit, and return again when you are ready for the next message I have prepared, because I am still speaking, and I am still carrying you. You have been holding so much inside your heart, and I have been holding you while you try to hold everything else. There were days when you smiled so no one would worry, and nights when you cried because the weight felt unbearable. You thought I didn't see the quiet breaking happening inside you, but I was there for every moment you felt alone and overwhelmed. You fought battles in silence out of love for others, and heaven has honored your silent sacrifice. Your tears were not signs of weakness. They were prayers in the purest form, rising higher than your words ever could. I am proud of how you survived storms meant to drown you, and I am proud of how you kept loving even while hurting. You did not quit even when exhaustion pressed heavily on your soul, and that endurance has opened a path for blessing to reach you now. The stranger who entered that hospital room was part of a divine timeline, and their presence broke an invisible chain that fear had wrapped around your situation. You could not see the spiritual battle happening behind the scenes, but I assure you, angels stood guard with swords drawn in that very moment. Your loved one felt a shift in their spirit that they couldn't explain, and that shift was the moment I stepped in and altered the outcome. You feared things turning for the worse, but I turned them toward healing before fear even finished speaking. You prayed from a place of desperation, and I answered from a place of love. You cried asking for mercy, and I wrapped your family in mercy so thick that danger could not enter. There is a purpose resting over your household, and nothing will be able to interrupt that purpose anymore. The unrest you have felt is the residue of battles I already fought for you, and the peace that is coming will be the sign that the war has been won. You will begin to notice small improvements in unexpected areas, and those improvements will be my fingerprints gently touching every corner of your life. The heaviness in your thoughts will begin to fade, and the anxiety that lingered will start to dissolve quietly. You will realize you are breathing easier without even noticing the shift. And that is how healing often begins, subtle, soft, and undeniable. Your loved one will regain strength in ways you doubted were possible, and you will see signs of recovery that calm your spirit deeply. The situation that felt fragile will stabilize, and the uncertainty that haunted you will lose its grip entirely. I am not only healing their body, I am healing your heart. The fear of losing them has tangled itself around your mind for too long, and I am cutting those cords with my own hands. You will feel peace return like a warm blanket wrapped around your soul, and you will feel hope return like light, filling a once dark room. Your future is not collapsing. Your future is being rebuilt with divine precision. You will walk through days that feel lighter than anything you've known recently, and you will speak with a confidence you thought you had lost forever. What was broken is being mended, and what was uncertain is becoming secure. Your prayers have not been ignored. They have been answered in layers. Piece by piece, moment by moment, I am restoring what fear tried to steal, and I am renewing what stress tried to drain from you. Your spirit is not forgotten. Your family is not forgotten. You are covered in ways you cannot yet comprehend, and you are protected in ways that extend far beyond the physical. Hold onto these words as they settle deep into your heart, and return whenever your soul needs another breath of heaven. For I am still guiding you, and I am not done speaking into your life.